dangerous. Listen, I'm going to be very, very brief. This has turned into one of the greatest annual political events in the history of the Mahoning Valley, without any doubt. This fish fry is the place to be. We always see the statewide candidates here. And this election, as has already been said, this election is about our values, what we cherish as working people, what our families came here from other countries to the Mahoning Valley to work, to ask for an honest opportunity to work and make a good living, raise your families. That's all we're looking for here. And I will tell you that the values of the candidates running against Ted Strickland and Lee Fisher and Charlie Wilson aren't our values. And it's not me up here giving a political speech. They all got these long records. When it came time to vote, to stand up, are you with Wall Street? Are you going to vote for NAFTA? Are you going to vote to give China most favored nation trade status? Are you going to vote to privatize Social Security? You look at John Kasich, Rob Portman, and these guys running against our congressional candidates, they all voted for that. They all voted for that. Think about this. Are we going to put in office a guy who voted not only for the trade agreements? John Kasich voted to cut the program, Trade Adjustment Assistance, that if you lost your job to trade, he voted to cut the program that would retrain you to go get another job. These guys, a few months ago, as Charlie Wilson said, we were asking to extend unemployment insurance in the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression, and every single Republican in the House of Representatives voted no. Now, we're not asking for a handout. We're saying if it weren't for the Great Depression programs, we would be in a Great Depression. And so we vote to extend unemployment. Not one of them could muster up the courage to vote to extend unemployment. And I ran into a couple of folks here about the Social Security issue and not getting the COLA. And we're going to go back in November and we're going to send you a $250 check to offset it for next year. Okay? Just to make sure. But let me tell you this. If the Republicans control the Congress, you're not going to get a $250 check. You're not going to get a COLA. You're going to get a privatized Social Security system. Just like they tried to do when President Bush was in. Did you hear him the other day on TV? He said the one thing he regrets he didn't do when he was in office was reform Social Security, which means everybody in here who has Social Security, your checks would have been in the stock market in 2008 when the stock market hit 6,000.
Screw Bush!
Give this man a round of applause. And you have a job working for Dave Beatrice anytime you want. He likes guys that talk like that. But in all honesty, I want you all to think about this. Privatizing Social Security, the trade agreements, and all that other stuff. Lastly, this is all I want to say. There is one thing that this valley is, more than anything else. We're loyal. You get our back, we get your back. In the last quarter, we have led the nation in increased manufacturing. Okay? The Youngstown metropolitan area. Listen, I know times are bad. I know a lot of people aren't working. But I will tell you this, and I'm already starting to hear it from some of the folks. This V&M Star $650 million investment for the building trades to go back to work in this valley. That's a one project stimulus package. And I will tell you, I was in the meetings, I was in the negotiations, I was there working with everybody to try to get this thing done. If it wasn't for Ted Strickland and Lee Fisher, this deal would have never gone down. Never would have happened. Never would have happened. And we were on the phone daily with the Department of Development, with the governor's office, to make sure all the million things that needed to get done got done. And they got done because we had friends in the governor's mansion. We got people that we could pick up the phone and call. That's important in politics. All this other stuff is nice, all the commercials and everything. But when Charlie Wilson and I can pick up the phone and Ted Strickland and Lee Fisher call us back, that means something. That means we get things done. General Motors, third shift, $300 million in state tax credits. Now we got a third shift, now we got the crews, now we got 4,500 workers out there. So, you've heard this a million times. This race is going to come down to possibly one vote per precinct across the state. Maybe even one vote per precinct in Mahoning, Trumbull, and Columbiana County. It may come down to a few thousand votes for all these races. So please leave here, not only go vote, get your family to go vote. This is the most important election ever, because 06 and 08 will mean nothing if we lose it now. We give the car keys back to John Kasich. We give the car keys back to Rob Portman. We give the car keys back to the free traders running against Charlie Wilson. We can't afford to do it. We're just starting to move forward. We got GM. We got B&M. We're leading the nation in manufacturing. We're just starting to move in the right direction. We can't give the keys back to these guys. We need your help over the course of the next week. Tell me you're going to help us get this election done.